Good evening from Washington. I'm Larry O'Connor. Lies, damned lies, dirty, filthy, stinking lies. Tell me sweet little lies. This town is full of lies. And yesterday on Capitol Hill, a whole lot of them were exposed, having to do with Joe Biden, his corrupt criminal family, and all the lies that his administration, including his attorney general, has been saying about the investigations into those crimes. Now, let's begin with the president's own lies. I take you back in time. 2019, 2020, when questions are raised about Hunter Biden's overseas dealings, Hunter Biden's money that he got from foreign countries. We've known about this well before the laptop was even exposed. During the 2019 debates amongst the Democrat candidates for president, even his opponents in the primaries raised these issues. And Joe Biden, he stayed on message. This has been his story from the beginning of this entire scandal. He's been consistent. He has said this.
I never spoke to my son about his overseas business dealings.
I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
Do you stand by your statement that you did not discuss any of your son's overseas business dealings?
Yes, I stand by
that.
that
Never, ever talk to my son about any of his business. Totally, completely outside of never, ever talked about it. Yesterday, as two whistleblowers from the IRS exposed so many of the lies that the Biden administration has been saying about Hunter Biden and the Biden family's criminal wrongdoings, we had one moment of incredible clarity thanks to a Democrat congressman. Representative Goldman was asking about an email exchange about President Biden attending a meal with his son having to do with the business dealings with a Chinese company. Watch how this unfolded.
And you testified that he said that Hunter told his dad, according to Rob Walker, quote, "I may be trying to start a company or try to do something with these guys." Now, let me ask you something. That doesn't sound much like Joe Biden was involved in whatever Hunter Biden was doing with the CEFC if Hunter Biden is telling him that he's trying to do business with them, does it?
Let's pause right there for a moment, because this is critically important, because this is such a self-own, as the kids like to say, from Representative Dan Goldman. So you see Goldman is trying to make the case. It's like, hey, clearly, if Hunter is telling his dad that he's thinking about starting to do some business with this Chinese company, that proves that Joe wasn't involved in any of these business dealings. But the problem is, as you just saw, Joe Biden's message, his story, his lie, has never been that he wasn't involved in the business dealings. His lie was that he never even talked to his son about the business dealings. Now, somehow, Congressman Goldman didn't get that memo, because he's trying to prove, well, if he's just hearing about this, that means he wasn't involved. And that's the trap that Mr. Goldman set for himself. Now watch him step into it.
No, but it does show that he told his father he was trying to do business, and he was talking
well,
to
that
his
is
father
true. Hunter Biden
about the
does
business.
try to do business. That's correct.
Yes.
So you not only have no direct evidence connecting Joe Biden to any of Hunter Biden's business deal, you actually had proof that he wasn't involved. That is the proof that you had.
No, the proof he had was that Joe Biden's been lying all this time about never talking to his son, because Joe Biden took the meeting. He went and had a meal with his son to talk about this business dealing. Hunter said, hey, I want to get together with you. I want to have this meal because I want to do business with this Chinese company. And Joe said, you betcha, son. I'll take that meeting. When Joe told us this whole time that he never had any conversations, never talked to his son once about it. Thank you, Democrat Congressman Goldman, for proving the point. But that's not all we saw yesterday. It gets actually much worse for the president and for Attorney General Merrick Garland. I want you to take a look at this. It's a little bit of a flashback, but Merrick Garland was asked specifically by Senator Charles Grassley in the Judiciary Committee about whether he would allow the U.S. Attorney in Delaware to bring charges directly against Hunter Biden should he find evidence of a crime. In other words, does he have to ask your permission? Will anything block this U.S. attorney from bringing charges against anyone in the Biden family? Here's the exchange, and this is what Merrick Garland said under oath.
The U.S. Attorney in Delaware has been advised that he has full authority to make those kind of referrals that you're talking about, or to bring cases in other jurisdictions if he feels it's necessary. And I will assure that if he does, he will be able to do that.
Does the Delaware U.S. Attorney lack independent charging authority over certain criminal allegations against the president's son outside of the District of Delaware?
He would have to bring, if it's in another district, he would have to bring the case in another district. But as I said, I have promised to ensure that he's able to carry out his investigation and that he be able to run it. And if he needs to bring it in another jurisdiction, he will have full authority to do that.
Oh, full authority, even if he brings it in another jurisdiction. Now, that's Merrick Garland during his confirmation hearing where, by the way, he had every reason to lie. If he had said, well, no, I'll probably stand in the way of those investigations. I'll actually not allow him to do whatever he wants. I'm the Attorney General, and I'm going to be the gatekeeper on this. He probably wouldn't have been confirmed. So, of course, he had every reason to lie. And, of course, once Merrick Garland said that, his employee, U.S. Attorney David Weiss in Delaware, who answers to Merrick Garland, who serves at the pleasure of President Biden and Merrick Garland, he also had every reason to lie. And he did. He backed up what Merrick Garland said. That's right, I have full authority. Okay, now let's look at yesterday's testimony again. Whistleblower number 2, Mr. Ziegler, who has no reason to lie. What did he say?
I will also note that while the impression has been conveyed by the U.S. Attorney in Delaware that he has similar powers to that of a special counsel in this case, free rein to do as needed, that was not the case. It appeared to me, based on what I experienced, that the U.S. Attorney in Delaware in our investigation was constantly hamstrung, limited, and marginalized by DOJ officials as well as other U.S. attorneys. I still think that a special counsel is necessary for this investigation.
There you go. He was hamstrung. He was blocked by DOJ officials. What DOJ officials? Well, he answers to the Attorney General, Merrick Garland. Now, I respect Mr. Ziegler, and I understand his insistence on a special counsel, and perhaps that is what we need. But you know what else we need? We need impeachment hearings. It's time. We now know somebody's lying. We know that 3 people, it appears, are lying, according to the testimony we got from these special IRS agents yesterday, these whistleblowers, all right? Merrick Garland, it appears, was lying under oath. David Weiss, the U.S. Attorney from Delaware, was lying under oath. And Joe Biden, when he insisted all through the primary season and all through the election of 2020 and every single opportunity he had right up until just a week ago when asked, do you still stand by your statement that you never talked to your son about his business dealings? Mr. Biden has consistently said never talked to him, never said a word. And how did that go again yesterday with Democrat Representative Dan Goldman?
And you testified that he said that Hunter told his dad, according to Rob Walker, quote, I may be trying to start a company or try to do something with these guys. Now, let me ask you something. That doesn't sound much like Joe Biden was involved in whatever Hunter Biden was doing with the CEFC if Hunter Biden is telling him that he's trying to do business with them, does it?
No, but it does show that he told his father he was trying to do business. And he was
okay,
talking
well,
to
that
his
is
father
true. Hunter Biden does try to do business.
That is true. That is true. Hunter Biden does tell his dad that he's doing business with him. And that right there exposes all of Biden's lies. Are we ready? I am. Let's start the impeachment proceedings now. There's more to come on O'Connor tonight.